Hi, Soul Family. Welcome to another episode of Soul Traveler 77. I'm your host, Corey Brandon, and today we're going to talk about something a little bit different today. If you're watching this, it's probably because you've already had an OBE or something like that, and now nothing feels the same. You may be asking yourself things like, why don't I fit in this world anymore? Why do I feel disconnected from my old goals, my old job, old relationships, even my old self? Why does time even feel a little bit weird? Why are things speeding up or slowing down, or it just seems like everything is off? If that sounds like you, you're not broken, you're not losing your mind, you're not going crazy. You're waking up. And this feeling, this strange in-between place, this is your soul starting to take the lead. After you've had that OBE, after you've come outside of your body and touched the truth, it's hard to come back into this flesh suit and just act like nothing ever happened, right? Because something did happen. You saw beyond the veil. You're starting to remember. And now your soul doesn't want to go back to pretending. So here's what I want you to know if you're in that space at this moment. It's normal to feel like your old life doesn't make sense anymore. Because truth be told, it just doesn't. It's normal to feel sensitive, detached, or even emotional for no reason. It's normal to feel like you're being pushed out of old jobs, old relationships, systems that you once depended on. None of this is failure. It's alignment. See, once your soul gets a taste of its full self, it never wants to go back to the old script. This is why your soul comes here through the sea of forgetfulness. Imagine you coming here and having to live this existence knowing what is going on outside of your body. No one would stay here. No one would have the experience. It wouldn't want to stay here in survival mode or hustle mode or learning how to just make ends meet. It will want to live in truth. So this confusion you're feeling, this is the moment when the soul starts becoming the driver. So now it's leading you. You didn't lose the path. You just start pretending the old path fits you. This isn't the end of your stability. This is actually the beginning of your alignment. You may not know what's coming next. You may feel like you're floating between two different worlds. But what's actually happening is you're starting to build a new world from the inside out. You're not being controlled by all of the outer things. You're now starting to live and even manifest based on the inner things. So if you've had an OBE and it feels strange now, just breathe. You're not going backwards, you're evolving. Trust the confusion. That's just your soul saying, we're not going back, we're going forward. You didn't come here to stay asleep. You came here for this time to start remembering. And honestly, that's the most important part of this entire OBE community experience, all of that. OBEs, lucid dreams, astral projection, the purpose of all of it is for us to start remembering and remembering the fact that we exist outside of these bodies and we exist forever. And we have ultimate power and ultimate command and control over everything when we're outside of these bodies. So with that being said, I want to discuss my most recent experience. This was more of a lucid dream. It wasn't an OBE in regards to what I've experienced. This was definitely a lucid dream, but there was an interesting thing that happened at the end of it that actually brought more clarity to the control I have when I'm outside of my body. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what happened. So I was put myself in sleep paralysis using the ADA method. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to willfully exit my body. I fell asleep. But when I opened my soul eyes, I was in an amusement park, and it was like a medieval themed amusement park. I was there with my daughter, and she looked exactly how she looks now, same age, same everything. I almost feel like maybe her soul entered my dimensional space while she was sleeping. I don't know. But what I do know is she was in this lucid dream. So we were walking around this amusement park. we kind of were walking around, and I knew it was an amusement park, even though it had a medieval theme, had cobblestone walls and streets and had castles and stuff. But I knew it was an amusement park because you could see rides in the distance. Kids were walking around with cotton candy, stuff like that. So I bought her cotton candy. She kind of got lost from me. So she got lost from me, and then I found her and I said, hey, don't go away from me. I don't want to lose you. And so we're walking around. She says, hey, Daddy, I need to use the bathroom. So we walk up these set of cobblestone steps into what was basically a sports bar. There were TVs on the wall. It looked like a regular sports bar. So I said, hey, babe, go in there, use the bathroom. I'll be waiting for you. So as she's going to use the bathroom, I'm sitting there looking into the sports bar because I'm like looking around trying to find a place to sit even. Maybe we'll sit down and eat. So something in me said she's gone. And at that moment, I started to have real panic. And this is why I knew it was more of a lucid dream, because the panic was real. I could feel my heart rate in my physical body starting to pick up while I was still dreaming. So I'm coming down the cobblestone steps, and in my mind, I'm saying, I've lost my daughter. Like, I literally am saying this. I've lost her. I'm panicking. And in that moment, I said to myself, this is a dream. And I started looking around. I'm like, I became aware. I said, this is a dream. And I started looking around, and I'm like, oh, wow, I'm in a dream. And immediately after that, I said, I don't want to be in this dream anymore. And this is audible. I can hear this out loud. And the moment I said that, the dream started collapsing around me. And when I say collapsing, I mean like it started warping, like I was moving backwards through a tunnel out like this. And I could see the cobblestone, all of the vision, the view around me starting to warp down this tunnel. And then I wake up and I'm back in my body. It was one of those really cool experiences where not only was I able to be in this dimensional space, but I realized that it was a dimensional space and it was a dream. And I immediately gained consciousness and started commanding what I wanted. Now, if this ever happens again, my first thought is going to be to stare at my hands or something so that I could pull my soul completely out of that dimensional space. And now I got free range, 100% consciousness, and I got free range to travel and do whatever I want to do. But it just was cool to be able to understand that I knew in that moment, I knew I was dreaming, and that I knew I could command myself to come out of that dream based on my willingness or want to stay in the dream or leave the dream. And that was really a cool experience. And honestly, one of the cool things is I'm just starting to understand the whole purpose of all of this is so that I could start remembering. There once was a time where I was using this as escapism too. I wanted to get away from realm one. Once you get a taste of the outside of this, you start realizing that this is trash and you don't want to be here. I even had to have a conversation with Darius about it because I was like, yo, am I supposed to feel depressed after this? He talked to me and kind of told me, you're fine. Like, the thing is, you have people on the other side waiting for you to complete your assignment here. Because that's what we're here to do. We're here to have an experience, but also complete our assignment. So whatever that is we are supposed to learn, or whatever we're supposed to discover, or if we're here to help other people discover and to awaken. So I realized that is my purpose, is to help other people wake up and start remembering again. If you've had an OBE and you feel like almost kind of depressed, for lack of a better term, start understanding that you're here for a purpose. You're here for this time, to bear witness to this time, and to do the great work. And that is to wake up other souls so that they can start remembering who they are. And the more people we get to start remembering who we are, the more these old systems and these systems of control start to wither away. And so I realized that, and I'm thankful that I get to have these different experiences, but ultimately it's all about remembering that we exist outside of these bodies. So if that resonated with you, drop a comment, hit that like and subscribe button. And until next time, peace and blessings.